DaniLeigh's career is dangling before her eyes because she is on the verge of losing it all after all her recent drama. But it looks like she is still not remorseful because she is now blaming her baby daddy, DaBaby, for her actions and claiming that he killed her career and ruined it. But what exactly did DaBaby do to her? And is he really the one to blame for her DUI? So DaniLeigh is in a lot of legal trouble at the moment because she could be facing some jail time. And yeah, it's as serious as it sounds. Now, everyone is saying that DaniLeigh ruined her own career, but if you ask her, she has a whole different story and she is not taking responsibility for her actions. Insiders claim that Dani feels like DaBaby is at fault for her woes after what he did to her, and that led her to where she is right now. If you're wondering how on earth DaniLeigh managed to link a DUI to DaBaby, well, I'm gonna give y'all the breakdown on how we got to this point. So DaniLeigh and DaBaby used to be a thing, but the relationship was super toxic because they would often get into fights and then he'd go on social media and tell the world what was going on. Think Blueface and Krishan, but without the physical fighting part of it, and you have a fair idea of what the relationship was like. As much as we can all agree that the relationship was toxic on both sides, one thing that everyone can agree on is that DaBaby often treated DaniLeigh like trash and was plain disrespectful to her. He would throw in her face that he was cheating on her, he would mock her about it, and he even claimed that she was just his side piece.
And Shawty's not my girl. Ain't never been my girl. Is my side.
It's your what?
My side. Shawty is a certified side.
This was bad, but as a lot of people pointed out, she kind of had it coming because many people warned her to stay away from him because he is a walking red flag. But she was too in love to listen to the warnings, and she ended up getting stuck in a toxic cycle that took her way too long to break out of. It also didn't help that he started influencing her negatively, and it wasn't long before she started being just as controversial as he was. It got to a point where she was known more for her controversies than her music career. It got worse when she released her song, Yellowbone, where she said, "Yellowbone, that's what he wants." People dragged her for being a colorist, but she clapped back saying, "Congratulations, y'all got another thing to say about me when you hate. It's all good, only God can cancel me. That ish don't mean ish to me because the people around me are the ones that know my heart and intention and real life. I'm sorry if I offended you." People were not satisfied with her apologies because it didn't really come off as remorseful. But that was not the biggest drama she had going on in her life because DaBaby started to act out really badly, and this controversy eventually overshadowed DaniLeigh's career for a very long time. DaniLeigh got pregnant with DaBaby's child, and the moment she gave birth, the real drama started. 3 months after she gave birth to her daughter, they got into a very bad fight, and for some reason, DaBaby decided to go live on Instagram to show the fight. She was nursing their baby at the time, but that didn't stop him from yelling at her and trying to throw her out of his house, even though it was late at night.
Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I'm live. He got the phone in his hand. Look at that. Yeah, there I go. Do my thing. You.
This is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, whatever. You want to record me talking about shut the
But he didn't just stop there because he then called the cops on her to force her out of the house with his baby at night.
Yeah, whatever. He want to call the cops on me for whatever the reason. Whatever. My 3-month-old baby.
And then DaBaby released a statement where he claimed that everything was DaniLeigh's fault because she got violent with him. He said, "I would like to swiftly remove myself from any of the hostile behaviors put on display moments ago. The last hour has been documented for my safety and business done based on my reputation, with multiple threats of setting up an internet scheme and a person refusing to let me go. My focus right now is solely on this new project out and the live show Kill a Tour starting November 26th. Hate Shawty went out that way and ain't my business. This really me typing too, no PR." People pointed out that this story didn't really add up because she was nursing their baby and there was no way that she could have been physically aggressive with him. Also, it was obvious that he was trying to start some drama as PR for his tour because we all know DaBaby's fame has been also going down ever since the drama at the Rolling Loud concert, so he didn't mind using DaniLeigh as bait. Luckily, she was smart enough to end the relationship after that, and she even claimed that she was trying to put things behind her.
Like, I've just learned and grown so much that I'm just like, okay, I've just learned to love myself so much more.
But DaBaby wasn't about to let her go easily because he continued to make trouble for her even though she had walked away from him. For example, when he and his crew ran into her brother at a bowling alley, they jumped him and beat him up badly. The only thing DaniLeigh's brother did wrong was to call out DaBaby for treating his sister badly. DaniLeigh also reacted to the fight saying, "Lame as hell. Running up on my brother on some slippery floors with 5 or 6 of your boys while he's by himself and not even touching him. I pray this stops now because this is my family and I got a daughter to raise." Sad. I think it's safe to say that her relationship with DaBaby pretty much tarnished her image in the eyes of the public. Like, nobody ever talks about her music now, and it's only her controversies, which is honestly very sad. But you know, they say you are a product of your environment. She went from being the super talented girl who worked with top artists to being DaBaby's problematic baby mama. And according to an insider, DaniLeigh firmly believes that DaBaby is the reason she fell from grace because he was a terrible influence on her. She believes that he was jealous of her success and deliberately sabotaged her by making her so controversial that people didn't want to work with her because of all the drama that she had become associated with. But if she thinks that her career was bad before, well, she can kiss it goodbye forever. After her recent DUI, a great career is going to be the last thing on her mind because she's going to be too busy trying to stay out of prison. According to reports, she was arrested after she was involved in a hit and run while under the influence. According to eyewitnesses, she was driving fast in a gray Mercedes-Benz with a passenger when she hit the man's moped and did not stop, dragging the vehicle for about a block. They claim to have tried to get DaniLeigh's attention and tell her about the moped caught on her car, but she kept going. So this was just not an ordinary hit and run because she dragged the victim for an entire block. When she did not stop when pedestrians asked her to, they ended up calling the cops on her. Some eyewitnesses claim that she didn't even stop when the cops asked her to, and they had to force her to stop. Even worse, she lied to the police that she had not hit any motorist, even when he was hanging from her car. She also denied that she had been drinking alcohol, even though she couldn't say her left from right. Officers claimed that they could smell the alcohol on her and in the car. She failed the sobriety test, and when she took the breathalyzer test, her scores came in at 0.145 and 0.148, which is like almost double the legal limit. The victim was reported to have sustained a kidney laceration and a spinal fracture, both of which are not life-threatening. According to TMZ, she was booked on 3 felony charges: driving under the influence, leaving the scene of a crash with serious bodily injury, and DUI damage to property. She was held in jail overnight but was released on a $9,500 bond. It's unclear what consequences she faces, but people are convinced that she's likely going to get jail time. Now, when she was in the middle of her mess with DaBaby, people felt bad for her, but this time people have zero pity for her, and they left comments like, "DaniLeigh deserves to stay in jail. She's a weirdo for drinking and driving in the first place, and she has someone seriously injured in the hospital." I don't feel bad for DaniLeigh at all. You have way too much money to not hire a driver and way too many friends, family, associates not to have someone come pick you up. Plus, there's Uber and Lyft. You have way too many options to be this irresponsible. And DaniLeigh was in her comeback bag and made a stupid decision driving drunk and actually struck somebody, SMH. I was hopeful for her getting her lick back after DaBaby, only to do this. Hate to see it. She's getting chewed out really bad online, but I want to know what you guys think about this. Do you feel like DaBaby is somehow to blame for her downfall, or do you think that she's just trying to avoid accountability? Let me know in the comments, then check out this next video.